Hi, my name is PAULA Estefania Pamplona Torres, and I'm working with Ángela Sofía Daniels BAZANTE and Manuel Fernando Palacios VALERO. And in this opportunity for guide number 4, we're going to talk about the most important aspects on financial administration. So starting with the historical review, let's talk about first about the International Monetary System, which is the institutional structure in which operational payments and capital movements are made and where exchange rates between currencies are determined. Now, the system based on two metals. Before 1970, many countries used to use a system based on the issuance of coins. Slightly, the countries were back up their issues and by the amount of gold that they had in their reserves, failing to use silver as a backing asset. The classic gold standard. Between 1875 and 1914. Traditionally, gold has been considered as a metal whose possession represents wealth because it is transportable, divisible, homogeneous, and durable. Now, the period between 1915 and 1944, the beginning of the First World War caused the most of the industrialized countries like the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Russia suspended the exchange of gold promissory notes and imposed embargoes on gold exports. The currency fluctuated with each other and in function of gold between established ranges, but unfortunately these ranks didn't work, allowing speculation on the currency. The Bretton Woods Agreement. In July 1944, they met in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to design a new international monetary system. Out of these negotiations came three agreements. The first one, the International Monetary Fund, that is the heart of the Bretton Woods Accords, and was ratified in 1945. The purpose of this new institution was to describe a set of rules on the conduct of international monetary policies and to monitor their compliance. The second one was the World Bank. He was in charge of financial of development projects. The third one, International Financial System, which was based on dollars. And now talking about the system of variable rates, from 1973 to present, the system of variable rates was ratified by the members of the International Monetary Fund in January 1975, 76, and Jamaica Agreement, in which it was decided that, first of all, the flexible exchange rates were declared acceptable to the members of the International Monetary Fund, and central bank would avoid intervention on the markets. The second one was that gold has been officially abandoned as an international reserve asset. Half of the gold held by the International Monetary Fund was returned to the members and the other half was sold. The benefits are used to help poor countries. And the third one is that non-oil exporting countries and least development countries would have preference.
Foreign exchange market operations. In the foreign exchange market, you can find 5 types of operations: the spot transactions, the spots, the term operations outright, the term operations swap, the operations with options, and the future trading. The most important in terms of trading volumes are forward transactions and swaps, and the less used are operations with derivatives. According to the Bank of International Settlements, the most used operations with the swaps of debt with $944,000, followed by the cash transaction with $621 billion. The spot and forward transactions. The transactions between currencies with a maturity of less than 48 hours are denominated as spot transactions, while forward transactions have a maturity that is usually standardized at 1, 3, 6, and 12 months. Usually, the forward price of a currency depends on the interest rates of the countries involved. On the other hand, swap operations in the market are by volume, and the most used by participants are 1, 2, and 3 months. Currency options. The options of currencies are similar to the financial ones, but they have nuances that are worth highlighting. The options are: acquire an option to buy a dollar for a certain amount of euros, this is called a call, or acquire a put option on 1 euro in exchange for a certain amount of dollars, that is called as a put. Finally, these concepts are applied to the case of financial decisions in a multi-currency context, an investment project, and an analysis of the cost of several financing proposals. And in both cases, the importance of correct designation and of a planned and appropriate solution is evident.
The exchange rate instead indicates the price of a currency measured in the local currency and the rate at which both currencies are exchanged. The most common is to measure the exchange rate bilaterally against the USA dollar, since it has the particularity of being considered international currency. Thus, a higher exchange rate implies the worldwide have to pay more to get a dollar. What is important to understand is where if you find for yourself, the exchange rate will automatically vary to balance the force until the amount of dollar that you want to sell is exactly the same as the one worth to buy. Suppose, for example, that there is an excess demand for dollar in the economy. In the case of the price of the dollar, the exchange rate will rise. As a result, many people will decide to buy fewer dollars because they consider into expenses of sample because the same amount of pesos occasionally dollar. The effect is main on the medium term, in the same direction for exporting and importers. A depreciation of the currency makes foreign products more expensive, reducing the import of goods exports. On the other hand, when earnings improve, the purchasing power, especially of goods that are produced locally. In this way, many governments often fall in love with the idea of a low exchange rate, since it favors a better standard of living for the population, which also strengthens into better electoral results. As mentioned above, where the positive direction, not trade goods producers benefit from increasing the purchasing power of population.